Hello YouTubeez! Today we're going to learn how to make a GIF by making this GIF. It's really simple, don't be intimidated. This is just a brief overview how I do it. I'm sure there are other experts who know a lot more than I do, but let's get started. Okay, so let's start by creating our GIF artboard. Maybe page. So I've already created one. It's in RGB. It's 800 by 600 pixels because that's what was recommended when I looked online. Google is your best friend when you don't know exactly what dimensions to do. I'm gonna go with text because that's what I usually gravitate towards doing first, more so than actually drawing something. So I'll just try to hand letter something. And it doesn't have to be great. It doesn't have to be beautiful. I am using a brush I downloaded for free, I believe. I don't remember where or when. It was probably like 2 years ago. And it's a Strathmore. It's got text. I really like texture, so it's got nice texture. So I'll probably use that as well as this Nico roll. I really like the texture on that. And I just like how it's like a continuous ribbon when you write with this one in my, like how I like to write with it. And I just like that. I like this. It's blocky, it's bold. I like that you can kind of connect things so it's like keeps going. I'll show you in some of my ones that I've already made where I've used this to draw things. And I really just like to make things connect with each other or have the appearance that they are the same. This, I feel like we should fill in. And let's make it a little face. And we're gonna go to this guy. I'm not worrying about the color right now. I can always change that. But I kind of like the red. It's like an orangey red. It's kind of YouTubey. So let's get my brush and we're gonna say, hello YouTubeez. I don't know why I put everything so high on the screen. It's hard when you have to think about a camera and what it's looking at and whether your hand's in the way or not, which I'm sure mine is. So what I needed to do first, and I forgot because most of the GIFs I made were before Procreate had this feature, is if you go to the wrench, you can click on Canvas and Animation Assist. And that brings up this little, your frames. So basically you can preview it, you can change your settings. Frames per second is how many frames are happening in that second. 15 is way too crazy high for me. I like to sit around 3 to 5 frames per second. Onion skin frames, that just means that as I create new layers in this case equal frames, that I can see the max that Procreate will allow me to see underneath it. And that just helps you get more fluid with your animation. It's not dire that you see all of them. It's just mostly important that you see the one directly beneath. And the opacity is just how bright that's going to be. So let's create another frame, aka layer, real quick, and then I'll show you. So basically that's what that did. So that made the onion skin opacity, made this 60%. So I can follow it without losing my line, especially if you're using the same color. I don't ever use these, but you can change them so they look different when they are there. When we have more frames to show, then we'll experiment with that and figure out what it does. Words are hard. Okay, so you have one shot, which means it plays once. You have loop, which means it plays forever and ever and always. And you have ping pong, which also will play forever and always, but it bounces. It doesn't go in a smooth circle, it bounces. And we can show you the difference. And that will make more of a difference depending on what you animate. So let's get this done real quick. I'll use this in my video. Because I call you guys YouTubeez. I don't know why. I like to make up names for people. Okay, why did I make that small? That's not good. Okay. It's because of the last part, huh? Okay. I also want to add a little face in this U because it kind of looks like a Q. But we've done it, we're making it, and we can always change it in a bit. But first, let's explain the layers. You can also add your layers down here. I always forget about that. Again, because I was using this before I was doing animation with this, making GIFs before they had this lovely assistant. So, oops, I just added 2. That's okay. Basically, it just changes the color slightly between each layer so you can see the difference. But let's keep going. Let's do these E's first since I have the right size. And this Z. We can make that tail on the Z grow too. That could be fun. And then I'll bounce it up a bit. I like this brush because it kind of just feels like you have to do a continuous line. And I think that's kind of charming and fun. If you can hear snoring, it's my dog Marty. He's over there in the corner snoring away on his little bed. So you can see that it's just changed the colors of this a bit. Whereas just blending it didn't do much. But it's coloring the secondary frames so you can see there's a definite difference between them. Which might be useful, especially if you're using the same color for everything. And the more frames you're adding, the darker obviously those colors are going to get, and that might get too similar to the color you're using, and then you can't see basically your framework for your next frame. I was framing a whole bunch of times in one sentence. Okay, let's do this. I think a little face on here might be cute. Maybe a little play button. I don't know. We're experimenting. I didn't have a plan. It might be good doing videos to actually have a plan of what you're going to draw, but I seem to just wing it, don't I? So right now, let's just stop for a second and let's play it and see how it looks. It's kind of fun. I hate the first hello that I wrote, but we'll leave it for now. I'm gonna pause it. I'm going to go to the first frame. I'm okay with this color, so we're gonna keep it. You can see that that color secondary frames has made that green, which is nice enough. Okay, so maybe we'll just do red and black. That's easy enough. And which one? I have the Nikon. Okay. We'll make that a little smaller, and let's put a little face on here, like a little happy. You guys are just so happy to be on the YouTubes. And then on this one, I can't see it. That's okay. Because, you know why? And this is when you might have to go into your layers and manually change things, because that's a solid shape. I'm never going to be able to see through it. So if I bump the opacity down on it, then I can go and draw over it. So what do we want him to do? Maybe he is rolling up his head a little bit, like when he's laughing. Like throwing his head back. When you get the really good giggles, that kind of happens. You start slapping your knee. My cousin snorts like a pig, and it's hilarious, which makes me laugh even more. And if you really get me laughing, I laugh. I sound like a zebra. It's because I can't breathe probably, but it's pretty good stuff. Laughing is a great thing. We should do it all more often. it's harder when you get older sometimes to remember to not take it all so seriously and just laugh. Sometimes things weigh down on you and it takes some of the joy away. But the joy is always there, you just have to find it. And that's hard sometimes. Anyways, rant over. Let's see. Oh, it's kind of cute, right? Maybe we should get rid of the tail. Although I kind of like it. It's like he's a little worm or something. This is his little body, and he's so excited to be part of that Y. I don't know. I think maybe we'll keep it. It's kind of fun. We're gonna use it in my video, but for the video, I will get rid of the background color because I want a see-through background. I'm gonna double check. Okay, I don't know why I just thought I needed to look at that. But now we can export it. So go to share and you're just gonna say animate a gift. Super simple. This can go on. Oh, that wasn't good. Okay. Right here, I'm just changing this alpha threshold, alpha color, because I don't have a background on it. You can see it's starting to get a little black where it's trying to fill in. And I used a very textured brush that it needs some help. So it's looking extra rough, but we're gonna go with it. It's totally fine. Because I changed my frames per second in the assistant bar, I don't have to do it here. You can also choose Web Ready, which will shrink it for you, which is great for if you are doing it for Giphy. So I will do max resolution for now because I'm gonna put it in my video. And all I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna save it to this iPad and then I can airdrop it to my computer. But I'm gonna do it again. And, sorry, I forgot where it was for a second. We're gonna hit Web Ready this time. I'm gonna export it. So basically I'm going to Giphy.com and I'm already logged in, so it's already on my page. If you don't have an account, create one, it's fun. You can see I have a blue check next to my name where it says @RachelBB, that's my username. That means I'm verified, so anyone can use these GIFs. If I weren't verified, only I could see these, and the only way I can use these on my stories is by liking them and then having a Giphy keyboard that I've, enabled on my phone. So here you see me, I'm liking the heart. And then we're gonna swap to my Instagram. Here's a story. So I'm hitting that text button. I'm hitting the globe for my keyboards. I'm picking the Giphy keyboard. I'm hitting the heart because it means I've liked it. And you can see, there it is. Hello, YouTubeez. And I'm copying and pasting it into the text, so it's there. So that's a great hack if you aren't verified. Maybe you don't care if you're verified, you just want to use your GIFs, you don't really care if anybody else is using them. So if you're verified, you have to wait 24 hours, but if you hit the GIF, type in the search RachelBB, RACHYBB, you can pick any GIF you want, and that's an awesome thing to be able to share those with other people and see them use them. It's really exciting. And it's kind of fun just to create GIFs anyways. You'll become addicted, and being able to create them and share them is fun. So we're uploading. Hit upload, upload a gift. We're gonna photo library. We're gonna go to our recents. We're gonna pick the last one because that's the web ready one. We're gonna hit done, and we're going to type in my URL, my website, because that's the source. I am the source. I'm also adding tags. It's very important if you are verified or you're wanting to become verified that you use your Instagram handle, or maybe you have just like, I don't know, Rachel's GIFs is the tag you want everybody to search for yours. But if you don't have that tag on that GIF, people aren't going to be able to see it when they search your name, your username. and we are going to rate this as G. And you can't see it now because I didn't have the iPad in frame very well, but there's a big button that says upload. You hit it. And it's uploading. That little green bar is telling us it's almost ready. And there it is. All these things are really simple. GIFs are super simple to make. They seem a lot more complicated, I think, than they actually are. Just have fun and create away. These are just easy shapes. Circles, half circles, lines. Super easy, and he looks like he's blinking and tired and unenthusiastic. These ones were more complicated ones. So I'd done this illustration and then I went and animated it. See, it's way too fast. Although you can see I've included a frame that I didn't want included. So one of these we don't want in here. And another one of them is at low opacity. This was before they had this illustration assist, so I would go in here and I'd lower the opacity on this layer and then draw on the next and then turn it off, make a new layer. So that's why that's like that. This was before this came out, but I have another one that's not at full opacity. Or something's off in the illustration. So we can go through here and we can figure out maybe, I think it's this one. I think it's this first frame. And we can look at it real quick. This first frame, something's wrong. So when you are copying and pasting things in Procreate, it rasterizes them and then it loses its quality. So you can do it a couple times, but if you do it too much, then it starts to look bad. And I'm guessing something just happened with that one. Maybe I resized it. That also will mess it up in Procreate. But yeah, so this was just something, I hate that part right there. What frame is that? Because I hate it. Something really simple. And I took an existing illustration and all I did was slightly tweak things. And you can do that with just by selecting areas you want to change. Like I could select this little guy and then move it and warp it, because you have all these abilities to distort or warp. It makes it really simple for you and you can just mess around and have fun. We have other ones. I drew all these mug people. These ones are really simple as well. We will do the animation assistance on this as well. Again, this was before Procreate came out with the animation assist, so it didn't have that ability back when I made these. It's just a little zombie cup walking, and it's Monday morning. And yeah, again, that's on my Giphy page if you want to search and use any of them. They're all there. But yeah, I like doing words. I think they're fun. I did some months. I didn't include those. I didn't put those up. The first things I did were really simple. Like this, you can put on a coffee cup and make it look like it's got steam coming out. I mean, that's simple and nobody really ever uses it but me. But it's fun. And that's just a simple shape that I just drew a couple times and switched or changed slightly in one of the layers, you know? So I encourage you to go do this and have fun and get verified, because it's really fun to have your own little GIFs out in the world that people can use or that you get to use. It's really nice, especially if you want to be an illustrator, to have your own branding. And this is a really good way to brand your stories on Instagram or Snapchat. You can use it on Facebook, I think, Facebook stories, because they're all related. You can probably use it on TikTok. I have a TikTok, but I just binge watch things. I don't actually make anything for it. So I just encourage you, if there's a saying you enjoy, if you really like lettering, do lettering. If you prefer to draw stuff, the simpler the better, quite honestly, on these. You don't need to make them really detailed and pristine. They can be a little, I don't know. I feel like they're kind of like a little kid art. So like I made dancing candles for birthdays. It's not the world's most beautiful candle drawing. It's a little silly. It's a little ridiculous. It's simple. It's simple, and simple's good. So go out there and make some simple ones. Make some complicated ones. See how crazy you can get, and share it. All right. We'll leave with one more. These are some of my favorite ones I've done. We got the Halloween spooky ghosts. I love this one. I think this one's really cool. I don't know if anybody else thinks it's really cool, but I think it's really cool. And they disappear and create the text. And I had lots of fun creating this text. I was feeling inspired at the time, apparently, which, you know, when you feel inspired, go with it and create then, because you don't know when you're gonna get it back. So this is more complicated than some of the other ones I've showed you. I just broke it down into writing the text kind of, so it turned out pretty cool though. And yeah, I have other ones where it changes words. Let's see. I don't know if anybody's ever seen the original Parent Trap. You're all probably really, really young, and I'm actually quite old. But it's with Haley Mills, I think her name was. It's not the Lindsay Lohan one. It's the original one, like from the 60s. My mom grew up watching it, so I grew up watching it. But there's a song, Let's Get Together, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't know why, but that was in my head, so I animated it. But this is an example of, like, basically I just animated the little part of that song. And it's different than the other ones because it's actually like shouting words out at you. So get creative and just go with what feels good and right for you. That's all that really matters. I think this was a fail. We can look at it. Let's see what happens. I don't remember. Oh wow, she's wigging out, people. Oh, she's actually kind of cute. I don't know why I scrapped that, but I did. Maybe I'll come back to it. As you can see, I keep like pretty much anything I make, even if it sucks, on here. So remember, you got this. You can make GIFs too.